I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. As always, this will be our Monday, August the 20th edition. Drew Forster, Mike Heads joining you. 7 races on tap, starting at 6 o'clock, a little different post time. We're going to have a couple of Mondays. We have this Monday and I think one more Monday.
Yeah, I think it's 2 Mondays.
2 Mondays.
Because of the P&E.
Yep.
P&E is closed on Monday, so then it's free parking for our guests that are coming out.
That makes it a lot easier. But 7 races on tap on the Monday program. Let's get right into it. Race number 1, field of 5 3-year-olds here, and a non-winner at 3 lifetime or $25,000 claimer. Excuse me, going 6.5 furlongs. The 3 Proof It makes his return and
yes,
or makes his first start here.
Debut
I know
here.
he had trained here in the past as a young horse before. Excuse me, before heading to Turf Paradise last winter. But nice maiden score. Ended up running in a stake race on the turf, and then run second in a non-winners of one other than. A pretty good race. It was running 102 and 1. He's been working lights.
Got it.
This horse has
81
been
buyer
going
that day,
great guns. I've seen him in the mornings. He looks great, and I thought maybe he was the one to defeat the 2. The chances are, who looked very good breaking his maiden. Although it took him 12 starts to get the job done, he still seemed to put everything together and looked very good that day. So I'm going to put him in the 2nd spot, and I put the 5 horse next to Otis in the 3rd spot. Good 4th against some pretty good horses. Minor Heat, Panhandle, and Smart Deal. Minor Heat did not come back to run well at Grand Prairie in the in their Derby, the Alberta Derby up there at it was Evergreen Park, it's called. But
Nice
Minor
reference.
Heat did not run well. But still, he ran well this day in 116 flat. So I thought next Otis was worth a look as well. I left out European, who I kind of liked last time. Maybe the return to a sprint will help him. And R.W. Stanley's always hitting the fringes, but he might be in the mix as well if the pace scenario is hot enough. But I went Proof It. I went 3, 2, and 5.
I took a horse you just mentioned, European. I don't think he's a route horse. He just never runs that good routing. You go back to his sprints, they're very good. First off the bench this year, got beat by Boundary Bay in a sprint. Second behind Optic in a sprint. Every time, when he goes long, he's just not the same horse. And now getting out of Stakes Company, this is a good spot for him. It's back into a sprint. In a non-3, his record of the distance is good. I'm going to try European. You might get a little price on him. European, over Proof It. I agree. He's the one to beat. Working lights out. Ran very good Turf Paradise. Got an 81 buyer the day he ran second down at Turf Paradise. And I agree. I threw next Otis in the 3rd spot. I went 4, 3, and 5 in the 1st. On to the 2nd. Babies. 2-year-olds for 12-5. Going 3.5 furlongs. Field of 9. Tough race to try and decipher.
Yeah, of course.
Not a whole lot of form here. I went to the 7. Mark's missed. Nice work in 36 and 1 out of the gate recently. Mark Luce, Amadeo Perez team up very well together. Mark Luce having a very strong meet again. He's 24%. Amadeo Perez, our leading rider. Why not? I'll take Mark's miss. Over the 9, Kindergarten Grader. He's back into a 12-5 after trying the nursery. Didn't get disgraced in the nursery. Ran 4th. Actually, who was the tough horse in there? He beat the 2 tough ones. He beat Bugsy and Vintage Man in there. Now he's back in for 12-5. Got a 33 buyer in that last race. Of the horses that have run, he looks like one of the tougher ones. Threw Kindergarten Grader in there, and I threw in another Mark horse. The 2, Stay Cool. 2-year-old daughter of Stay Thirsty. Works look good. Enrique Gonzalez takes the call. I went 7, 9, and 2.
Yeah, I had no idea. This was
I don't know.
Absolutely. With the
Pick
dart.
one, yeah.
No, I went 5, Archon. Not even the favorite likely. Does have some experience at the distance. Had the rail last time. Broke well, but just wasn't fast enough to go with Lord of the North and Sir Knight and Amorcito. Still ran a decent 4th, though. And I think that race is good enough. Maybe even a repeat of the race is probably good enough. That lofty 4 buyer that he got might be able to get him in the winner's circle in this race. The 7, Mark Smith, I agree. Amadeo, like Mark Luce has 3 in here. Amadeo or Enrique would be on the live ones.
Yeah, that's why I threw those 2
especially
in there,
Amadeo. So that's probably the live one. And I put the 6 horse Stevie Song in for 3rd. Just the pedigree, Storm Victory, Tender Teen, screams, speed,
sprint
and
fast.
we'll see if that happens. So 5, 7, and 6 for me in the 2nd. On to the 3rd race. Optional 25 for 3-year-old fillies. Kind of the same. This is for the 3-year-old fillies that we saw the boys in race number 1. They're going 6.5. I went to the 3 here, Halloween Queen. I love taking. This is a 3 and 4 year olds actually. This is a little different race than the first. This is for 3 and 4 year olds, and Halloween Queen is the lone 4-year-old in the lineup. Nowhere to run her. She's been entered over the last couple of months. That's what scares me off.
She hasn't run in 2 months.
Yeah, she's been entered every weekend. Is there any race that she can get into? 25,000, 16, anything other than a stake. Yeah. Halloween Queen has been entered in, and she's had a good season so far. And I'm going to go to her. I put the 5-horse Under Par in for second. Had a couple of wins already this year. Has to be in for the 25. Actually, Halloween Queen also has to be in for the 25,000. She's got a bunch of wins, but Under Par. His speed makes her dangerous. She's going to be tough. And I put the 6-horse Dory's Darling. I thought this was the best off the pace horse in the lineup. Just broke her maiden. Did lose to Bear 2 starts back, but I just thought she was better suited to an outside draw, and she ran a good race last time and will come running late on a track that really didn't favor the closers at all. So I just see a lot of speed in here, and I think she can she's live. I would take them all, though. I would take 3, 5, and 6, and that's the way I've gone.
I went to the 6 Dory's Darling just because you mentioned it. Looks like there's a fair bit of speed. You got Velociraptors in there. That's quick. Halloween Queen has to be on the lead. Bear, when she won, she was on the lead. Under Par likes to...
She's the fastest.
She's the fastest of them. But I just see a lot of gas. And Dory's Darling ran a nice closing race last time to win a maiden special weight. I know it's tough that first time against winners, but I could see Dory's Darling closing late and win it. So I put Dory's Darling on top of the 2 Sharp Contrast. I'm not sure what's up with this filly. The one Sharp Contrast. I just don't want to give up on her. I thought this is a pretty talented filly. She looked great her first 2 races. She broke bad last time, so that didn't help her, but I just not sure what's going on with her. She's come back with a nice work in 1 minute and 3/5. That was the best of the day on August 10th, so maybe Sharp Contrast is back in form. I don't want to leave her out. Sharp Contrast, and I threw the other Mark Kluche horse Under Par in for third. I went 6, 1, and 5 in a race where you're going to want a few. The third. On to the fourth. 3-year-olds for 25, non-3. The other half of the split, I believe that was a split, wasn't it, with the first race?
Yep.
There's 7 of them in here.
Long end.
Going a mile and 16th. Yeah, sorry, this is a long end. I went to the 3 AF Indy. Last time, I like AF Indy and Mr. Finch. Mr. Finch got the first quarter last time at 25. And maybe it'll happen again. I just can't see why they would allow that to happen again.
But it may happen again.
But it may happen again because who's going to go with him? Somebody's got to press him. I think AF Indy, Antonio Reyes doesn't let Mr. Finch get too far away from him this time. Probably going to want to stay closer. I put AF Indy over Mr. Finch. And I threw in Tito Chip, who kind of woke up last time. His first race here at Hastings was dreadful, but he came back with a really good effort last time. Got a 68 bar.
On last time.
Yeah, only got beat by 3 behind Day Raider. El Noble ran a huge race in Appalachie Bay. Appalachie Bay only beat him by a length. He could be going the right way. This is a horse with a nice back form on him. I didn't want to leave him out. I went 3, 7, and 6.
Yeah, I went to Mr. Finch. I don't see anyone to go with him. He relaxed far better second time after the claim, and he finished he was sprinting under the line. But he should be when you go at 25, 48, and 3. But I don't see anyone, not yet. It's got no speed. Smart deal. They don't use his speed. AF Indy haven't been using his speed. Ace of Diamonds, Harry's Hammer, and Tito Chip are all closers. Like Mr. Finch leaves the gate with a purpose and is fast out of there. So I think it's his race to win or lose. Yeah. AF Indy will be the one sitting in second, so that's the one that if Mr. Finch doesn't make it, AF Indy will be tough. And Ace of Diamonds I threw in for third. So I always like this horse, and this horse that ran another good race last time was just beat by slow fractions. He needs some luck. Maybe someone goes out there. Maybe Smart Deal goes or AF Indy goes and makes things a little quicker the early part. Then Ace of Diamonds really has a good chance. But I went 7, 3, and 4 in race number 4. On to the 5th race. Maiden optional claimer here for 3-year-olds and upwards, going a mile and a 16th, Colts and Geldings. I went to the 5-horse Speculator in here. I thought his race behind El Noble and Chef was very good. He's the one that's continuing to learn and continuing to progress. He got a little too far back last time after a tardy beginning. I'm just hoping he isn't as far back. Chef's the horse to beat, no doubt. I have no qualms with Chef. Chef's going to be 8-5 or something, and Speculator will be 6 or 7-1. And I just think maybe of the two, you might want to take a shot on Speculator. And I put the 4-horse Brave Nation in for third. Didn't show a whole lot in his debut here, but it was his first race here at Hastings. But his races in Kentucky and Florida were quite good and very, this horse could obviously improve a lot on the stretch out. He, maybe he's not a sprinter. He got in a little trouble at the head of the lane, but there wasn't much, I just wasn't enthused about his race first time out. But like I said, maybe it was the ship. Maybe it was the just the sprint as
Sprinter or
well.
something, yeah.
Maybe with a little more been acclimatized here to Vancouver and going along, we'll see a better Brave Nation. I went 5, 1, and 4.
I have the same horses. I put Chef on top. It's just a good second.
He's the horse to beat.
Yeah, second behind Ace of Diamonds, and then second behind El Noble. El Noble came back to run huge on BC Cup Day in the 3-year-old stake. It looked like he was going to win it. He did get caught by Raider late, by Day Raider, but a big race by El Noble, and that just makes Chef look all the tougher in here. For me, Chef over Brave Nation, as you mentioned, the first one was not very encouraging, but look for him to rebound with a better effort today. And he's going long, which, you go back in his form, he was going long. Pretty much, Bill Mott ran him long. He ran 7 furlongs his first start. After that, everything was over a mile. This should be more suited to him. Brave Nation in second, and I agree with your top pick. I put him in third. Speculator is one I would not want to leave out on the ticket. 1, 4, and 5 for me in the fifth. On to the 6th, 3 and up, 16, non-3. Good race here.
Yep, good competitive race.
Field of 9. And I went with all the newcomers down near the rail. I went to Papa out of the Phil Hall barn for Peter Reddicock. Peter and Phil have 2 in here. I like them both. I went Papa. This is a horse they had entered for 8. And then they brought Moonman up and run him for 8. And he absolutely ran around them. So he thought, well, maybe Papa is better. I get tired just saying the name. Papa. So I put Papa on top.
Say the 2 horse.
I put the 2 on top of the 1. Prado's Way. Glenn Todd has 2 in here. I know Aaron Greider goes to Got My Mo. Faded last time.
Going long, yeah.
Yeah, going long. Now he gets back sprinting. But Prado's Way is an interesting horse here. He claimed him off Steve Asmussen. Richard Hamill picks up the mount, so, I know Aaron went with Got My Mo, but it's not a bad thing. You get Richard Hamill on the other one, and I could see this horse being right in the mix. So I got Prado's Way in second. I put the other one, Moonman, the horse I mentioned. That was an impressive race, his first start here. He ran into another one of Glenn's, another one that he brought up from Kentucky, Red Hot Rio, and Moonman just ran around them. Looked really impressive. Got a 70 buyer. Didn't want to leave him out. I went 2, 1, 3.
Yeah, I went to the 8 Silvertown. I don't love anyone. Like, I can see all 3. Your horses all have their merit, and they can easily win. They're nicely drawn. But I went Silvertown to be in the mix. I just thought the return to a sprint might be what he needs. His route race was decent on the class drop, and Santa Warren Master U and beat him. But I think he's a better sprinter, and I think you'll see a better Silvertown cutting back to 6.5 furlongs. I agree with Moonman. This horse I put in for second. Pretty impressive win last time. I got my Mo in for third. I thought the cut back to a sprint was going to be good for the son of Uncle Mo, who broke his maiden very easily at the 8,000 level, and then just didn't run his race going long.
It absolutely crushed Pau Chikawawa that day, and Pau Chikawawa came back to win for 16, so that was a live 8 that he was in there.
I went 8, 3, and 5. This is a very difficult, very, very difficult
Go deep
race.
Go deep in your
7th and final, $4,000 fillies and mares. They're going to go 6.5 furlongs. I went the 6 Hippie. Probably going to get the lead in here. Looks like the best of the speed. So I went Hippie over the 2 Lady Cash, who continues to knock at the door. Will win a race here very soon. And the 5 Belly Girl, who's better going long, but they're going to sprint her. And her route race, it was really impressive, winning in her non-3 condition last time. Yeah, I went 6, 2, 5.
I have the same horses. I'm just hoping, I know it's back to a sprint, but I'm hoping Belly Girl keeps some of that speed that she had going long and pressures Hippie, and it sets up well for Lady Cash. I got Lady Cash on top of those 2. I went 2, 5, 6 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Monday card. Up next on the screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you're going to be up first. There we go.
Back in race number 1, I went to the 3 Proof It. I'm going to go 3, 2, and 5. Race number 2, I went to the 5 Archon over the 5 and the 7 and 6. I'm going to go 5, 7, 6 in race number 2. Race number 3, I went to the 3 Halloween Queen over the 5 Under Par and the 6 Dory's Darling. I think you need all 3 of them, though. Race number 4, I went to the 7 the Speedy Mr. Finch. Going to see if he can repeat. I went 7, 3, and 4. Race number 5, I went to the 5 Speculator. Maybe a mild upset over the 1 Chef and the 4 Brave Nation. And the 6th race, I went to the 8 Silvertown. Going to go 8, 3, and 5. And in the 7th and final, I'm going to go to the 6 Hippie over the 2 and 5.
On to my picks. There we go. Back in the first, I went to the 4 European over the 3 and the 5. In the second, the baby race, I went to the 7 Mark's Miss over the 9 and the 2. In the third, I went to the 6 Dory's Darlin over the 1 and the 5. In the fourth, I'm looking for AF Indy to turn the tables on Mr. Finch. I went 3, 7, and 6. In the fifth, I really like the 1 Chef over the 4 and the 5. In the sixth, I went to the 2 Papa over the 1 and the 3. And in the nightcap, I went to Frank Barraby's number 2 Lady Cash 5 to 6. Lady Cash. Maybe she'll cash in the last.
Yes. All right, that'll do it for the Monday, August
card.
the 20th edition of Handicapper's Corner. Reminder, our next live card will be next Friday night, August the 24th. 4 stakes races on tap. The CTHS
right, the
Sales Stakes for 2-year-old Colts and Geldings, 2-year-old fillies, 3 and 4-year-old fillies, and 3-year-old and 4-year-old Colts and Geldings. So 4 stakes races, $50,000 stakes races on the Friday night. Next Friday night, August the 24th. So it should be a lot of fun. It's part of our 7-race program that will obviously get underway at 7 o'clock. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the Monday edition of Handicapper's Corner. Good luck, and we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.